Why do my quit attempts fail? Why do smokers fail at quitting? Have you always wondered why so many people fail at quitting smoking? And why do they fail over and over and over and over again? Are you seeking knowledge to help you finally quit smoking and actually be able to be successful at your quit attempt? If you are, you've come to the right place. If this is your first time to this channel and you're interested in tips, tricks, and hacks on how to quit smoking for the rest of your life, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. It simply tells you when I post new videos. And I post 2 new videos every week. Also, I want you to put in the comment section if you struggle with these very things. Or if you did struggle and you were successful, tell us about that in the comment section. Here's why. Allow other people that watch these videos to benefit from your experience. Or if you're just struggling and you have questions, put your questions in the comment section. That's the whole point of the comment section. And then one last thing before I jump into the content, I'm going to put a link in the description to my calendar so you can book yourself into a free 15-minute phone consultation with me. I'm just going to get you on the right track to quitting smoking for the rest of your life. We'll have a good time. It's fun. It's really quick and simple and easy. But make sure you stay to the end of this video, because if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you the number one thing that people do that manage to get past those multiple quitting attempts and actually stay quit. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. So let's just hop right into the content. Quitting smoking and failing. Here's what you need to know. The average smoker tries 30 times to quit smoking. That's no different than me. When I was trying to quit smoking as a former smoker myself, I probably tried more than 30 times. I can't even remember how many times I tried to quit smoking and failed. It literally, for me, it feels like thousands. Now, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's less than 100, but it was a lot. There were so many times I would wake up in the morning, I'm going to quit today. And then by the end of the day or early the next day, I would fail and I would start smoking again. I remember one time in particular. It was a nice warm summer morning. I woke up, it was a beautiful day. I'll never forget it. And I said to myself, I'm going to quit smoking today. I got up out of bed. I didn't smoke. I was very determined. I had engaged my willpower to quit for life. I'm not going to smoke. I had a shower. I had breakfast. I had my coffee. I didn't smoke. I always smoked when I had a coffee. I got in my car. I didn't smoke in my car. Another place I usually always used to smoke. I didn't smoke. I made it to work. I got through the first quarter of the day. We had a break that most of us would take at around 10:30. We'd go downstairs, might have another coffee, but we'd hang outside the office building and have a cigarette. Me and the other smokers. We called it the smoking pit. I didn't smoke. I went back in. I went to lunch. I didn't smoke. Now I hit the end of the day. I haven't had a cigarette in almost 24 hours. Now I'm constantly thinking about cigarettes. The cravings are starting to kick in. I had no plan, zero plan. I'm constantly thinking about cigarettes. I'm driving home. I cannot stop thinking about cigarettes. I drive by the gas station where I usually buy my smokes, and I'm like, I just want a cigarette, put me out of my misery. I get home. I'm still somewhat determined, but I'm feeling really weak, like I'm gonna break any minute, and I can't get it out of my mind. Dinner hits, and then after dinner, it's just overwhelming. I can't deal. I get in my car, I drive right back to that very gas station that I drove by literally hours earlier and managed to say no with my willpower, bought a package of cigarettes, and I lit up and I smoked. Does this sound like you? This is very familiar to almost anyone who's tried to quit smoking, because almost everyone who tries to quit starts with cold turkey. And 7% of people manage it. Only 7%. The number one reason why people fail at quitting smoking, and why we go through this loop of quitting and then re-quitting, quitting, starting smoking and quitting, and then starting smoking and quitting, we loop through this over and over and over and over again. Why? It's because the method we're trying to use to quit smoking is cold turkey. That's the number one reason. The number two reason actually is stress. This video isn't about the number two reason, but you'll see I'll put a link up here that you can click on if you're a stress smoker. And I go through all the details as to why that is and how to beat it. or watch the end of this video, and I'll just put it in the description below, and you can click and go watch that video as well. So this is about the number one reason, willpower. The number one reason why people get stuck in this quit, start smoking again, quit again, loop over and over and over. It's because we don't have enough willpower. Here's the thing about willpower. There's a lot we don't understand about it that we're going to go through now. But here's what you need to know. When I say willpower, what do I mean? I just mean cold turkey. All cold turkey is using your willpower to quit. The two terms are interchangeable. They're exactly the same thing. They mean the same thing. There is nothing more to cold turkey than using your willpower. And if you wanted to pick the number one way to fail at smoking, fail at quitting smoking, I should say, actually, if you want to find the number one way to fail at quitting smoking and fail over and over and over and over and over again, cold turkey's it, 7% success rate. So let's break this down. We're going to talk about those people that manage to get into the 7% and look at what it is they actually do, because it's important to understand that. Before we do that, let's look at the 93%. 93% of people fail using willpower. And there's a couple of really good reasons why. And it's also why 93% of people only manage to quit smoking with the aid of a paid program. That's the truth. That's what we know from science. So if you're like me, you're in that 93%. So let's just start with, why do those 93% of people fail? Here's why. It's about willpower. What is willpower? It's really your ability to control or to exert control to either do something or restrain an impulse. And when it comes to smoking, what willpower is really about is restraining that impulse to not smoke. And what does that mean? Well, here's what that means. Your conscious mind says, I don't want to smoke. Your unconscious mind says, smoke feel good, or I have a habit of smoking. Or it's actually very complex, and we're not going to get into all the details, but essentially your unconscious mind goes, no, smoke. So your conscious mind is going one direction, I don't want to smoke. Your unconscious mind is going the other direction. This is what we call in neuroscience being psychologically incongruent. You are incongruent. Your conscious mind says, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to smoke. But you have this uncontrollable desire that you can't will yourself past to just smoke. Whether it's habit, addiction, or whatever, that's for another video, but it's going the other direction is the point. I don't want to smoke. Your conscious mind, your unconscious mind that is going in the other direction makes you incongruent. So what happens when these two battle? While your conscious mind can do 5 to 7 things at one time. That's how it's designed. It's basically a wimp. Your unconscious mind's a supercomputer. It is so powerful that with all of our understanding of science and quantum computing, to this day, we cannot build a supercomputer to rival our unconscious mind. That's how powerful your unconscious mind is. So you've got this wimp of a conscious mind trying to use willpower to go one way. You've got the supercomputer that's wired with a habit to go the other way. Who do you think is going to win? Your unconscious mind, of course. So let's go down one more layer. How does it actually win? Well, here's what's actually happening at a neurological level. Willpower, your ability to exert control over an unconscious impulse, is not an unlimited resource. It's limited. You only have so much of it. It is finite, not infinite. And guess what? It goes down and deteriorates and disintegrates over time. The further you go throughout the day, the less you have of it. This is one of the reasons for sleep, is to bring our willpower back up. It is why people that hack their own willpower to do things use their willpower in the morning when they have the most of it. For example, if you are on a diet, decide what you're going to eat for dinner in the morning, because if you don't, that is when you have the most willpower. If you don't, by the time you get to 6 o'clock, you're tired, all these things that cause your willpower to diminish. You're tired, you're frustrated, you're cranky, it's the end of the day, it's hot outside, whatever. You're driving home, it's 5 o'clock, you have not planned for dinner. Now you have to go to the grocery store and you think to yourself, I should buy salad and some chicken and make myself a chicken salad for dinner, and that will be healthy and it'll help me lose weight. But you drive by A pizza place. You have diminished all of your willpower and you have not planned for this. Guess what you do? 9 times out of 10. Your unconscious mind's desire just goes, I want pizza. Your conscious mind just gives in because you've depleted most of your willpower. That's how willpower works. It's the same reason why my whole story about I get to the end of the day, why do I fail? I can't stop thinking about the cigarettes. I've depleted almost all of my willpower. I'm trying to use my wimpy conscious mind to overrule my supercomputer to make a smart decision. I didn't plan, and so I fail. That's what's actually happening. That is why we fail time and time again. That is why it is so hard to quit using willpower, because we only have so much of it and it diminishes over time. So those of us that are in that 93% group that have to use a paid program to quit smoking, that can't quit through willpower, that's what life is like for us. That's the reality. So is there something to be learned from these 7% of people that actually do manage to quit? Well, actually there is. Science tells us quite a bit about these people. We know a lot. People that are in that 7%, we really know 2 things that they do that are different or unique. One thing is something they do. One thing is something they just have. Let's start with what they have. They have an IQ of 150 or higher. If you have an IQ of 150 or higher, likely you're going to be in that 70% that can quit using willpower. You are a high achiever. High achievers are able to power through their willpower to the end of the day. Those are people that are high IQ individuals. Kind of makes you hate them just a little bit more, doesn't it? Because I do not have an IQ of 150. I wish I did. Most human beings have an IQ between 85 and 115. That's a full 68% of all human beings. So the first thing that people in that 7% have is they're high achievers. They have high IQs, and that's awesome for them. That's great. You probably even know some of those people, and they're probably somewhat annoying, and they probably quit smoking no problem just like that, and that's just the way it is. But let's look at the other thing that they do different. You know what the other thing that high achievers do in that 7% that the rest of us mere mortals don't? They plan. They plan. Not only do they plan, but they plan more than a week in advance. Quitting smoking is not about, I'm just going to quit when I wake up this morning just like me with no plan. In fact, my entire plan is I'm just going to quit today. That's not a plan. People that are in that 7%, that's not what they do. They plan more than a week in advance before their picked quit date. If you want to know more about how to prepare your mind for quitting smoking and actually plan so that you have a better shot at being in that 7%, just go to my website. It's in the description below. It's very easy. It's just tedbradley.ca, not .com.ca, my name. You can download right off my website a free PDF, a free ebook, How to Prepare Your Mind for Quitting Smoking. Just go and download it. It will tell you all the things, the steps you need to do to prepare your mind for quitting smoking to get you into that 7% if that's what you're attempting to do. So that's the second thing about them. But let's just now go back and look at these 93% of people that aren't into that group. What can they do to get through this cycle of quitting smoking over and over again? Well, what they can really do is they can plan. If you do not plan, you're most likely to fail. You need to plan. Failure to plan is planning to fail. I know it's an expression, but it is really, really true. That is the number one thing you can do to break yourself out of this quit cycle is plan. Plan for the cravings, plan for the withdrawal, plan for what you're going to do when you're driving home and you drive by the place that you always buy cigarettes at. You have to plan for these things. That's the number one thing you can do. So let's just go over what we've learned. Number one, we fail mostly due to no fault of our own. It's just our biology. The vast majority of us need the aid of a paid program to quit. We're just not in that high achiever group. It's just the nature of willpower and that it diminishes over time. That's the first thing we learn. Two, if you're going to be in that 7%, then you need to plan, and you need to plan well. That's the second thing we learn. And the third thing is that there are tons of free resources like my ebook on my website, and there are other ones. Go find a free resource. If you have other insights into how you managed to do it, then please put that in the comment section below. Or if you're struggling, you have questions about more specifics about what you can do, put those questions in the comment section below of this video. That's the whole point of it. That is the purpose of the comment section. So, if this is your first time to this channel and you want tips, tricks, and hacks on how to quit smoking for the rest of your life, then subscribe and hit the notification button. And remember that there's a link below to book yourself into a free 15-minute phone consultation. Take advantage of it. It's free and it's fun. Also, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook group. I post all types of tips, tricks, and hacks in my Facebook group. It's very easy to search me up on Facebook. Or my Instagram. I post lots of videos of people who've done my program on my Instagram channel in short little snippets so you can hear in their own words. Go to my Instagram channel as well. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Blessings to everyone. I look forward to working with you soon. Stay safe, wear a mask, and be healthy. Blessings.